Frang gathered his team around the tactical display, their faces illuminated by the holographic projections. "We've been lying in wait for 8 days," he began, his voice low and focused. "Thanks to Vromp's expertise, we've chosen this asteroid field as our ambush location. Kling, a communications officer from the Rikok tribe, has been tirelessly monitoring Prozenuthian transmissions, and now it's time to put our plan into action." Vromp, his eyes gleaming with determination, nodded in agreement. "We'll jam their transmissions as soon as they're in range, making it appear as interference," he affirmed. "Then we'll hit them hard and fast, using the element of surprise to our advantage." As the Prozenuthian light battleship, known as Jolimps, approached their sector, tension mounted aboard the Ixiart cruiser. Kling, the communications officer, monitored the enemy vessel's movements with unwavering focus. "Jolimps is closing in," he reported, his voice tinged with urgency. "We need to act fast." Frang, the commander of the Ixiart squad, studied the tactical display intently. "Hilok, do you have the magnetic interference ready?" he inquired, turning to the engineer from the Rikok tribe. Hilok nodded, his expression determined. "It's set up and ready to go," he confirmed. "Once we deploy it, we'll have to navigate through the interference ourselves, but it should buy us enough time to execute the ambush." With Jolimps approaching, Frang gave the order to deploy the magnetic interference. As millions of metallic asteroid particles filled the surrounding space, the Ixiart cruiser became enveloped in a chaotic storm of electromagnetic interference. "We're in position," Vrompa reported, his voice crackling over the comm system. "The battleship is slowing down, just as we predicted." Frang nodded, his eyes fixed on the tactical display as the plan unfolded before them. "Hold steady," he commanded, his voice resolute. "We'll wait until they're vulnerable, then deploy the next phase." As the Ixiart squad braced for the impending clash, anticipation hung heavy in the air, each member prepared to do whatever it took to emerge victorious. As the Prozenuthian light battleship struggled against the interference caused by the magnetic asteroid debris, Frang and his crew seized the opportunity to execute the next phase of their plan. "Kling, how's their sensor range?" Frang inquired, his eyes fixed on the tactical display. "Their sensors are barely functional," Kling reported, his voice tinged with excitement. "We're practically invisible to them." With the Prozenuthian ship vulnerable and distracted, Frang gave the command to advance behind their target, utilizing the cover of the asteroid debris to mask their movements. "Slowly, but steadily," he instructed, his voice a quiet but firm reassurance to his crew. "Let's get into position without alerting them to our presence." With the Ixiart cruiser positioned strategically behind the Prozenuthian light battleship, Frang wasted no time in initiating the next phase of their plan. "Prepare the catapults," he ordered, his tone urgent yet controlled. "We need to disable their propulsion system before they have a chance to recover." As the crew worked swiftly to ready the magnetic catapults, tension mounted aboard the Ixiart cruiser, each member keenly aware of the critical role they played in the success of the mission. With a coordinated barrage of thousands of smaller metallic asteroid rocks, the makeshift catapult system launched its payload towards the vulnerable rear of the Prozenuthian vessel. Moments later, the unmistakable sound of impact reverberated through the void of space as the enemy ship's propulsion system faltered and failed, leaving it adrift and vulnerable to the Ixiart's next move. As the Ixiart cruiser swiftly maneuvered into boarding position, Frang's blood surged. "Prepare for boarding," he commanded, his voice echoing through the ship's intercom. "Elites, gear up and stay focused. We take control of this vessel." With weapons at the ready and determination in their eyes, Frang's squad and Vromp's squad wasted no time in executing their respective missions. "Move out," Frang ordered, leading his team towards the helm with precision and purpose. "Secure the ship. Take out as many Prozenuthians silently by surprise as possible." The Ixiarts broke off into two groups. Frang commanded the group headed to the helm. Vromp commanded the group headed to the communications room. Both groups had taken out nearly a dozen Prosenuthians stealthy before they were discovered. As Frang's squad came closer on their way to the helm as they silently disposed of unsuspecting Prosenuthian crew members, Vromp's squad encountered less resistance as they advanced towards the communications room. "Stay sharp," Vromp, the tactical Gostor tribe member, cautioned, his senses heightened as they neared their objective. "We can't afford any slip-ups now." With expert precision, Vrompi's squad breached the communications room and swiftly secured the Paradox cipher without alerting the Prosenuthian crew and compromised the ship's communications system. "Objective secured," Vrompi reported, a hint of satisfaction in his voice. "Let's finish this quickly and make our exit before reinforcements arrive." As alarms blared throughout the Prosenuthian light battleship, Frang's squad faced increasing opposition as they pushed towards the helm. Frang's squad pressed forward through the chaos of the firefight, their training and determination driving them onward. "Stay focused!" Frang shouted over the din of blaster fire, leading his team with calculated precision. "We need to reach the helm and secure control of this ship." As they advanced, communication with Vromp confirmed their progress. "Vromp, status report," Frang demanded, his voice tinged with urgency. "Have you secured the communicators?" Vromp's response crackled through the comms, confirming their success. "Communicators secured," Vromp relayed. "We're holding the position. Keep pushing forward, Frang." Despite facing fierce resistance from the Prosenuthian warriors, Frang's squad persevered, their superior tactics and training guiding them through the relentless firefight. As they finally reached the helm, Frang surveyed the scene, his heart heavy with the loss of two of his elite squad members. "We've secured the helm," Frang reported, his voice grave. "But we've lost good soldiers in the process." As the gravity of their sacrifices sank in, Frang couldn't help but feel a sense of bittersweet victory. "We've achieved our objective," he said, his voice somber yet resolute. "Let's honor the fallen by completing our mission and getting out of here." With control of the ship secured, Frang's squad prepared to make their escape, their determination unwavering despite the heavy toll of battle. Frang swiftly issued orders to his team, each member moving with precision to carry out their assigned tasks. "Kling, initiate the distress call," he commanded, his voice steady despite the urgency of the situation. "Make it convincing. We need the Prosenuthians to believe they're in real trouble." Kling nodded, swiftly accessing the Prosenuthian ship's communication systems. "Distress call initiated," he confirmed, his fingers flying across the controls. "Repeat message broadcasting on all frequencies." Meanwhile, Heloc worked diligently to disable the engine controls and destroy the communications room, ensuring their cover story would hold up under scrutiny. With their ruse in place, Frang wasted no time in executing the next phase of their plan. "All Ixiarts off the ship," he ordered, his voice echoing through the corridors of the Prosenuthian vessel. "Take the Paradox cipher and any casualties with you." As his team evacuated the disabled ship, Vromp took charge of using a grappling line from the Ixiart cruiser to haul the Jolimps towards the gas giant planet Shear 3. Once they had built up enough momentum, Vromp detached the grappling line, sending the Prosenuthian ship hurtling towards Seer 3's powerful gravitational pull. As the ship drifted into the planet's strong gravitational pull, Frang couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. "Well done, everyone. Monitor and ensure the destruction of the Jolimps while we slowly return to the asteroid field," he said, his voice filled with pride. As they returned to the asteroid field, tension hung heavy in the air. "Kling, any updates on the Jolimps?" Frang inquired, his eyes fixed on the view screen displaying the sensor readings. Kling furrowed his brow, his fingers flying across the console. Still no sign of the Jolimps, sir, he reported. It's likely entered too deep into the gas giant's atmosphere for our sensors to penetrate. Frang nodded grimly, knowing that the success of their mission relied on the complete destruction of the Prosinuthian ship. Less than an hour after the Jolimps disappeared into the Shear 3's atmosphere, 3 Prosinuthian battleships entered the sector, their presence a looming threat. Frang's grip tightened on his command chair as they watched the enemy ships scour the area, following the trail of debris left by the Jolimps. "They're getting closer," Vromp observed, his voice tense with anticipation. Frang nodded, his mind racing with possibilities. "We need to lay low until they leave," he declared. "Once it's safe, we'll make our move." With bated breath, they waited, their eyes fixed on the view screen as the Prosinuthian ships departed nearly 10 hours after arriving. With a sigh of relief, Frang turned to Vromp. "Take us back to Uimi 2, he ordered. "We've done all we can here." And with that, they set course for home, their mission accomplished, but the threat of the Prosinuthians still looming large on the horizon.